Milady is the coolest DLC weapon. I found it early on in my first DLC playthrough, and it was love at first sight. And now for my 200th playthrough of Elden Ring, let's jump into another build of the only infusible light greatsword. We can find Milady early on in the DLC. Right when you cross the bridge into Castle Ensis, take a left and then another left. You'll head up a set of stairs, and then you'll see a ladder right ahead of you. Get past that dog and the soldier, and Milady is in a chest right on the top of that tower. You don't need to defeat a single enemy to grab it. This is a light greatsword, so it has the best moveset in the game. This is the only type of weapon where I routinely mix in heavies and light attacks, as they both string together so fluidly. The lights are quick, the uncharged heavies are phenomenal, and the moveset even includes some thrusting attacks. Our Ash of War this time is Wing Stance. Now, the first time I used this weapon, I did not use this specialized Ash. I went with Impaling Thrust instead. Sure, it is not unique to the weapon class at all, and it feels right to use DLC Ashes of War on DLC weapons, but this was my first playthrough. If you're not familiar with the bosses of the DLC, I would still recommend Impaling Thrust. It's faster, more predictable, and deals a great amount of poise damage. But if you want to acquire as many style points as possible, or cannot resist using the specialized Ashes of War, use Wing Stance. This is, of course, a stance Ash of War, so Rellana's cameo use will be in full effect here. Hold down L2, and when the cameo is active, you'll see your tarnished glow. From there, you can use the heavy diving attack, which deals amazing poise damage and has pretty good range, or the triple hitting light attack, which is nice if you have successive attack power on your build, or your enemy is right next to you. I did not use any spells for this run. Of course, Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, any weapon incantations would work well, but this was a quality infusion on a light greatsword. I wanted to focus exclusively on Milady. I was having so much fun using this weapon and the weapon alone that for some of these clips, you may notice I had the HUD turned off. I apologize because you can't see the damage numbers, but turning off the HUD for part of the 200th playthrough was the right decision. It means you cannot focus on your HP, your FP, or your stamina. You have to memorize where everything is on your quick select and really lock into the fight. For our playstyle, start with a flask, then the grease of your choice. I used the good old Mesmer Fire and Royal Magic Grease. And if you think you're going to be using Wing Stance a lot, I would pop a Starlight Shard, so you can regenerate that FP throughout the fight. Your first attack should be a Wing Stance heavy, and you should use it on every opportunity you get, because as I mentioned before, it deals great poise damage and has solid range. You will have to wait for a second to get Rellana's cameo to activate, so feel free to hang back while you power up. I mainly stuck to the uncharged heavy for shorter attack windows, and the light follow-up to Wing Stance to end fights in style, or when I was right next to the enemy. And that is playthrough number 200 done. I can't believe nearly 4 years later, I'm still playing this game and making build videos, but I would not have it any other way. I recently passed 3 million channel views, so thank you all very kindly for watching. I love seeing your comments week after week, and it's something I dearly look forward to. For the question this week, I want to ask, what game have you beaten the most from start to finish? I needn't say mine. And as always, for more videos like this, every single Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, be sure to like and subscribe to TheJerseySide. Our talismans for the build were the Dragon Crest Great Shield, for 20% more physical damage negation, the Two-Handed Sword Talisman, for 15% more damage with the moveset, the Shard of Alexander, for 15% more damage with the Ash of War, and Rellana's cameo, for a 45% damage boost to the Ash of War after we wait 1 second. The tiers for the build were the Opaline Hard tier, for 15% more damage negation, the Bloodsucking Crack tier, for 20% more damage with health drain. This one was really fun to use with the HUD off. Later in the run, I did switch it out for the Thorny Crack tier to get some successive attack power. I would have made this a successive attack power build, but I was going for a light load build, and you may not notice this, but Millicent's Prosthesis, the talisman that gives you dexterity and successive attack power, is really heavy. For example, the Dragon Crest Great Shield weighs 0.8, but Millicent's Prosthesis weighs double that at 1.6. So if you do light loads every once in a while like me, this is something you gotta take into consideration. Our stats at RL 170 were 60 Vigor, 15 Mind for the Ash of War, 35 Endurance for the light load, and 55 Strength with 59 Dexterity, as this was a quality infusion. No sorceries or incantations on this build, so Intelligence and Faith can remain at their minimum. Thanks again for sticking around for these 200 playthroughs I've done. I won't be doing an Elden Ring build for a couple more weeks as Code Vein 2 comes out, and it looks to be an amazing build crafting game. So for the time being, I think I have found a new obsession. But don't worry, Elden Ring will return in short order. Also, if I sound a bit different this week, I did completely move my setup, and there's not much in this room other than the computer and the PS5, so there may be a touch of an echo in here. But I digress. I'll see you all for Code Vein 2 next week, and more Elden Ring in the future.